I absolutely adore working with my queens, so I pulled 5 of them together for a fabulous photo shoot. And even though you can't tell in the photos, it was absolutely freezing.
I will give up my coat.
I had a lot of different groupings of the girls that I wanted to get photos of, so I made sure that I had a list in my phone so I wouldn't forget any.
Alright, perfect. I was going to tell you to do that and you didn't. You guys are smart.
This whole shoot, I was switching between my 50mm 1.8 and 85mm 1.8.
Go ahead, walk down the steps.
I photograph a lot of gowns and a lot of pageants, so I really wanted to make sure that these photos weren't exactly like every other shot I took, and one key to that was using a lot of movement. I also switched between girls quickly because it was so cold and I didn't want them standing still for too long. To do this, you either need to think on your feet very well or already have a ton of poses planned out. It is so important to tell your models or whomever is in front of your camera what you want from them. So if you want them to move a certain way or act a certain way, it's so important to tell them.
Go ahead and walk down.
I am someone who is continuously shooting. I find every movement so important, and things can change between movements. It's important to try different angles too. I started off a little bit more head-on, and I didn't get so much of the background, and I think that really did take away from the shot. I got a little bit lower for another shot, and we saw a lot more of the archway of the library, and I think that it really made the shot that much more elegant. Something that's easy to get overlooked when you don't have a stylist is the wardrobe, the outfits. How do you want them to look? Because it is something that really does make a big difference. I really wanted a lot of whites, silvers, golds, or neutral color dresses. And one of our models did not have one. So Caitlin here is actually wearing my evening wear dress from the Miss International pageant. A lot of pageant shots are used on social media or on thank you cards for sponsors, and it's so important to make sure you have a lot of shots that are capturing the title very well, holding the sash in very fun and unique ways. But in addition to these pageant shots, I also wanted some content that could be used for formal wear and evening wear because I really do like to photograph that.
We're here.
Allowing cell phone photos to take place at your photo shoots is something that is 100% up to you. If you do not want them, you can just politely ask the people who are taking these cell phone photos to stop. Miss Lakeville wanted a shot with the whole library in it, so I crossed the street, tried not to get hit by a car, and got some shots that included the entire library in it. These title holders all have a platform that they advocate for and speak about throughout their entire year, and Miss Lakeville's is about literacy, so it only made sense to include the entire library.
Tilt your wrists forward just a little bit.
And I jogged across the street again to get some more awesome shots. Moving on to our next title holder, Maya, Miss Freetown's Outstanding Teen. Because we were outside and it was a beautiful day, besides the cold, I was able to have an ISO 100 and a very fast shutter speed, making it so that way the photos were very sharp.
Tilt that other wrist forward. I can't see it. It looks like just see the side. There you go. Bring it a little bit more over your head. And then wrists forward again. There you go.
And I absolutely adore the shots with sashes over their heads. While starting off photographing Julia, I wanted a lot of motion and had her spin around a few times. I then took a peek at the photos and realized that I was missing a really beautiful leading line. so I had her step closer to the handrail. And this is why it is so important to be aware of your surroundings, look at what leading lines you can be using, and you can get some really amazing shots. When you have a teen and a miss, they are known as pageant sisters. So I thought it was so important to get a shot of some of our pageant sister groupings. I absolutely loved the way they turned out. It was so cold, so we were delighted to wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching. I have more work on my Instagram, but I hope you subscribe to my channel.